Hey again, this is John Kelsey with electricalestimatingacademy.com. You know, I've tried about 16 times to record this video, made tons of mistakes. You know what, this time I'm going to keep going. So if you hear me stammer, stutter, or otherwise make other noises that you wouldn't appreciate normally, I'm going to go ahead and keep going. You know, the purpose of creating these videos is to share with people how to estimate electrical projects. I got to tell you, as a contractor, I was a contractor years and years ago, starting out, I didn't have understanding about how to estimate projects. I was just winging it. You know, they have a method they laughingly refer to as SWAG, S-W-A-G. SWAG stands for Scientific Wild Ass Guess. Okay? Well, that's what a lot of people do out there. And let me tell you this. It's important to learn to estimate using estimating software. You got to have the right tool. If you don't have estimating software, you're really putting yourself through a lot of trouble that you don't need to. You need to get yourself a good system of electrical estimating software and learn how to use it. Again, as a contractor starting out, I didn't have those skills, and then through the years developed those skills and got the right tools and actually hooked up with some people that were just master electrical estimators and was trained by some of the best. So I want to communicate those things with you. Now, just real quick, I'm going to talk about blueprints and estimating and doing material takeoff. You know, the basis of electrical estimating is to make a material list, write down a material list, or you can do it electronically. Electronically is another subject, we'll cover that later. But you write down the list of materials, you input the materials into the estimating software, and the estimating software spits out the material cost, it spits out the labor it takes to install those materials. Then eventually you'll look at a report that shows the total hours and total number of dollars there are for material, and you'll eventually create a proposal to send to your client. Now, estimating software makes that process much less painless and much quicker, faster, and more accurate. But here's some input. Sometimes your blueprints are just crap. Okay? You get your blueprints and you got more questions than you got answers. And really, this is the main point I want to communicate with you. If you don't know this already, when you're estimating a project, you know, there's a lot of pressure, and it's a tedious task. Under pressure, usually for time, right? A lot of times nowadays it seems like contractors are calling a week in advance or 6 days or 2 days in advance, and they're saying, hey, can you get pricing for us for this $150,000 project or this $1 million project? Yeah, we have to bid it in 5 days. It's amazing how they do that. I don't understand why it works that way, but I hear that a lot. But my point is, you're under time pressure to finish estimates a lot. So back to the subject of crappy blueprints. If you have questions about the blueprints, you need to create what's called an RFI. I'm going to write that on the board here. It's a RFI, and it stands for Request for Information. Now what that is it's just a document that you create. A lot of times people type them up, of course. You don't use pencils anymore. But you type up a request for information. You refer to the blueprint page and maybe a specific note, or ask a very specific question about the estimate, or rather about the set of blueprints, okay? RFI. Now, when you're bidding projects, larger projects, you might have dozens of requests for information. Here's the problem, guys. In the industry, the engineers have to compete for work just like we do, okay? What I mean by that is they have to give pricing on how much they'll charge to create or engineer a project, okay? So they have to go out there and bid competitively just like us a lot of times on projects. So they also have to hire inexpensive people to do as much as the easy tasks as possible. But you get my meaning here? They have to compete for work too. Some of these guys just don't take enough time to create accurate blueprints, and there's more questions than you have answers for on blueprints. So again, the way you solve that is you write up an RFI and you send it to the engineer, architect, or the general contractor whom you're bidding the project to. Now, one of the benefits of doing this is that everybody else that's bidding that project will also be submitting requests for information, RFI. And when they receive those, they document them and they send responses to all the bidders, okay? So you'll get answers to the questions that you have on the project, and you'll also get answers to the questions that other contractors ask, okay? So creating an RFI is a good tool for you. Also, you would save this document either electronically or paper-wise and create an RFI log. You'd keep a record of the RFIs, you'd keep a record of the responses, and find out what the answers are so you can document that and keep going, plowing ahead. Enough about that today. I'll talk to you again soon. Take care. John Kelsey out.